Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here. Welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where you learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Today is another day to learn English, and I've prepared another moral story for you guys, the story about the bicycle and the bank. So it's a funny mini story with a moral idea inside. But before we start, I want to announce that we still have a beautiful community on Telegram where you can join and see some new updates and upcoming episodes posted. And there are some new posts about English in general. You can learn extra words almost every day. And I post my life story blogs, right? So my vlogs almost every day. So you can see what's going on. You can see how English is used in real life, and then learn from it. That's a good opportunity. If you want to support our podcast, you can go to Boosty channel, Emotional English Boosty channel, and support us. I kindly welcome all your donations. And I want to say thank you to some of you who was donating some money to us, and it was a big pleasure. I've seen some donations, and hope it would be interesting for you guys. I have more motivation to post my podcast when I see that you are inspired, you have some energy. So let's continue our language process and language learning process. And today we discuss, as I said before, the moral story. The moral story has 3 paragraphs. The first one is pretty big and 2 little ones. But before we start, I will show you some vocab to learn 5 focus words that we're focusing today. The first word is deposit. It's a noun. So when you have a deposit, it's an amount of money that you put into a bank account. And you can call it deposit. If someone asks you, hey, how do you call a thing, this money that you put into a bank account? You can call it a deposit money, right? Or just a deposit. It's a noun. And so we will use this word today for sure. The next word is pretty interesting as well. It's the word temptation. Temptation, right? This word is connected with the verb to tempt, right? I tempt to do something, right? I tempt to play tennis. I tempt to drink coffee. So temptation is connected with this verb, and the verb connected with this noun, vice versa, right? So the idea is pretty simple. When you have a temptation, you have a strong feeling inside of you and you want to do something, especially something you know you shouldn't do right now, right? Let's imagine it's a big desire in the shopping center, right? You see a beautiful t-shirt, right? You really want this t-shirt. And the first moment you feel this temptation of buying this shirt, right? Or t-shirt. Or another one, a temptation to buy new electronics, right? You have a phone and you're kind of sick of your phone. You don't want using your phone anymore. And right away you have a temptation. I need a new iPhone. I really want to buy a new phone. But then you decide what to do. Can you control your temptation or you cannot? So temptation is a thing that you should know how to control, okay? It's a very strong feeling. And if you tempt to do something, you really know and you understand that it's not a good action right now. But if you tempt to drink coffee, it means that you had been drinking some coffee already. And now it's another cup and it's not a good idea right now. So it's a temptation you have in your mind, the strong feeling. The next word is a pretty simple one. It's a goal, right? We all have goals. Maybe because you're listening this podcast, you have a goal to learn English, right? Goal is your target. It's something you want to achieve. It's something that you want to get in the future, right? So it's a pretty simple noun. Hope you got this. Next one is discipline. Discipline is very important noun. So if you have discipline, you have an ability to control your own behavior. And let's connect discipline with your temptation. If you have discipline, you probably can control your temptations. If you have no discipline, you cannot say no to some things. So probably temptation will control your life. Okay. So have more discipline and you will have a control of your temptation or many temptation. Doesn't matter. Next word is the word reward. Reward. So reward is a good noun. It's like a gift. It's something that you get because you have worked so hard on something. You've done something very, very good, right? And finally, you can have a reward. And that's a good communication, right? I mean, hypothetical communication with your temptation. You have a temptation and you say to yourself, okay, yes, I know I want this phone, but let's work first. Let's do something very important for my life. And then I will have a reward, right? So it's not the complete control of your temptation, but at least it's a deal, all right? It's like a bargain, good bargain. And you say to yourself that you have a reward for some good action, right? You did something good, you have your reward, right? It's like a gift for yourself in the end of your work, right? Completed work. Okay, so these 5 words, again, the first word was deposit. Second one was temptation. Third word was goal. Fourth was discipline. And the fifth one was reward. Now let's use all these words in action. So I will read this little mini story and we will reflect on it with some more examples from real life, right? And I will comment each sentence for you guys. And we start from the first paragraph. This is a story about Alex. Alex is a boy. He has some money. And so now the story is about Alex and the bicycle and the bank, right? So how Alex was making some decisions in his life. So let's begin. Alex held the money tightly in his hand. It was his birthday gift, and it was just enough to finally reach his goal. Pretty simple, right? So we have the person Alex here. He held, it's the past tense of hold, right? He held the money tightly in his hand, right? So you can say there was a guy and he was holding or he held the money tightly in his hand. Tightly means so very strongly, you know, you're not just softly have your money, hold your money in your hand. You kind of pushing it inside of your hand, right? You not pushing, you kind of squeezing it. That's a good word. Squeezing your money. That's the word tightly, right? So the money cannot go out from your hand, right? Out of your hand. So that's the word tightly. An opposite of tightly is softly. So Alex held the money tightly in his hand. So how did he hold the money in his hand? Of course, it was very, very tightly, right? Not softly. So it was his birthday gift, this money, right? All of that. It was his birthday gift. And it was just enough to finally reach his goal. You can ask me, hey, what was his goal? We can go further and understand. For months, he had been saving for a new shiny blue bicycle. Okay. So what was the Alex goal? Yeah, indeed. It was new, shiny, blue bicycle, right? He was saving for it for one day, right? No, it was not for one day. For months, he was saving and saving. He had been saving for a new, shiny blue bike for months. For years? No. For months. Many, many months. So his plan for the day was pretty simple. Go to the bank and make a deposit into his savings account. And yeah, we got our first focus word here, a deposit. So Alex had a plan, right? And the plan was for a week, for a year, or for the day. Yeah, it was for a day, right? And the plan was pretty simple, to go to the bank and make a deposit. So what does it mean when you make a deposit? It's a very good connection here. Make a deposit. You don't do a deposit. You don't go a deposit. No, you make a deposit. You're using your hands and you make a deposit. Okay. So he made a deposit into what? Into his piggy bank. No, not into his piggy bank, into his saving account, right? In every bank, if you a client of a bank, you have your bank account and you can decide what kind of account you want to open, saving account or the account for different transactions, right? For purchasing some things. And that's why you have a card, like a banking card, and you can purchase or tap this card any place you want to buy something, right? So Alex, he wanted to make a deposit, right? And he wanted to make a deposit into his savings account. So he wanted to save money, not to use the money, to save the money. So he could almost feel the wind in his hair as he imagined riding his new bike. You know, this is a very good statement. So it's the connection with the goal. When you close your eyes, you almost feel your goal, right? You can feel, if you want a new phone, you can feel how your new phone is touching your hand. You can imagine how do you use your phone and all things like that. So Alex had the same feelings. He could almost feel the wind in his hair as he imagined riding his new bike, right? So he was imagining he's riding the bike and the wind touching his hair, right? So the wind, he felt the wind in his hair, right? The little wind blowing, right? That was his feeling. Just as he was about to leave, his friends Leo and Mia ran up to his door. Okay, we have two more characters here, right? What was the character name number one? Leo, right? Leo. Leonardo, you know, this is a full name. Leo is a short name. Another one is Mia. Mia, that's a lady name, right? Girl name. Leo and Mia, they ran up to his door. You know, Americans, they live in houses, right? And if you run up to someone's door, you just standing near the door. It's like a little front yard, right? Or something else. And you stand on it and you knock the door, right? You can say, oh, I ran up to my friend's door. So they ran up to Alex's door and they started the discussion. Alex, you have to see this, Leo said, showing a new video game on his phone. It's out today. We can all buy it and play together. So there was a game, right? Probably computer game or the phone game on App Store or whatever. And the first character, Leo, he started to show this game to Alex. Then Mia added something more. It will be so much fun. Forget the bank. Let's go to the game store. So they started to, motivate Alex to betray his idea. You know what does it mean to betray your idea? It's when you say bye-bye to your idea, when you start going away from your idea. You know, people use this word when they cheat on someone in their relationships. You can betray your couple. You can betray your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's a very, very bad action. Nobody likes people who betray. And the noun from this verb is betrayal. Betrayal. So Alex almost betrayed his goal, right? Why? Because Mia and Alex and Leo came to him and started to manipulate and started to say different motivational speeches. Hey, let's go. Let's buy the new game. It's out now. Let's play together, right? And this very moment, Alex felt a strong pull of temptation. A strong pull of temptation. You see, it's the second focus word we had from the list. Alex felt a strong pull of temptation. So you see, it's not just temptation. It's a pull of temptation. It's this idea in your mind is just pulling. Pulling is the opposite of pushing. So pull of temptation is when the temptation is coming to your mind, right? And Alex had not just a weak pull of temptation, it was a strong pull of temptation. It was very powerful energy of the temptation, right? The idea was very powerful. So the game looked incredible, and he wanted to join his friends. You see? So why Alex felt a strong pull of temptation? Because the game was awesome. The game looked incredible, very good. And he wanted to join his friends. So that was pretty big thing, as you see. So that's the end of the first paragraph. I hope you got this, right? We have a story about Alex and two friends. Alex had a very interesting idea, right? And that idea was to buy a beautiful, shiny blue bike, right? And two friends came to Alex, and they started to manipulate, they started to show and motivate to betray his own idea. So they wanted to motivate him to buy a beautiful computer game, right? Or phone game, doesn't matter. We don't have these details here. And Alex felt a strong pull of temptation because the game looked amazing, right? And he wanted to join his friends. That's actually the first part of our story, the first paragraph. Let's jump to the next one. In the end of the story, I will read the whole story again for you guys, and I will read fully, it would be much nicer. By the way, in this pause, I want to say that I'm working on my first course with mini storytelling, and it's going to be online story, and it's going to be online course on the platform. And if you guys are interested, you can send me the message and you will get a 10% discount on this course when it's released. If you haven't done it, so you will not get the little discount. So if you're interested, just go to my Telegram, send me the message, or you can send the comment under the podcast announcement on our community group on Telegram. So let me know if you're interested. This course would be pretty powerful. You could study the language for whole months, and it would be pretty affordable. It's pretty cheap, so you can afford it anyway. So that was a little pause, commercial. Let's continue to the next paragraph. For a moment, Alex hesitated. So you can say, what is hesitation, right? What does it mean if you're hesitated? It's when you don't know what to do. You have hesitation in your mind. You're like, I don't know what to do. Maybe I need to buy this computer game, or I need to buy something bigger, like my goal. So hesitation is something that happens to you when you're not sure about something, right? And Alex, he was hesitated for a moment, right? He didn't know, like it was very not clear in his mind what to do. Because he was started this discussion inside of himself. He started to think, playing a new game right now sounded amazing, right? It's amazing to play the game. It's amazing to have an opportunity to buy because you have money. But then he remembered his long-term goal and the picture of the bicycle on the wall. So this is the thing. You have different goals, right? It's the third word from our focus word list. And as you see, you have long-term goals and short-term goals. So the short-term goal could be very short. Let's say, I want to buy a cheeseburger, right? It's my goal. It's my target. But this is a very short-term goal because it's very simple to realize. It's very simple to achieve, right? Just get the money. It's not very expensive to buy a cheeseburger. So you just go and you buy it. But the long-term goals, you need some effort. You need some energy to keep on track, right? To have the idea of achieving this goal for a longer time period, right? So you need some motivation for this. And maybe your English learning goal is your long-term goal. It's something that you should work on day by day. You need discipline for this, right? So that's a long-term goal, your English learning process. So he had a long-term goal, but he had this big temptation, right? The strong pull of temptation to buy a new computer game. Very hard decision. And by the way, do you know this interesting experiments with kids when, imagine the room, right? I don't know where was this experiment, but maybe you can let me know in the comment section. Remember there was an experiment with kids and adults. So the kids were in one room, and there was a donut on in the center, or it was a donut, or the cookie, or something else. I don't remember exactly what was it, but there was something on the table, and the kids they had an opportunity to wait for 1 hour and get second cookie extra, or to take the cookie that they see right now, right? So that's an opportunity. If you can wait in a long term, you have an extra cookie. But if you cannot wait, you just take the cookie and you eat it now. And it's a very hard decision, to be honest. Most people, they cannot control their temptation or temptations, many of them. So because it's very strong pull of temptation, it's attacking you very deeply. So you cannot control your temptation. And the kids, they couldn't control. Most kids, they had picked the option with cookie immediately, right now. But some of them, some kids, they decided to play long term. They decided to pick two cookies after a couple hours or 1 hour, I don't remember. So that was a good example of the discipline. If you have discipline, you have an opportunity to wait, right? So let's continue with Alex. Alex knew that reaching his goal required discipline. And he said, "I'm sorry, guys," he said very calmly. "I'm sorry, guys," like this, calmly. It means without big emotionality, right? "I'm sorry, guys. I really want to, but I have a plan. I have a plan to make. So this money is for my bike. It was a difficult choice, but it felt like the right one." Okay? So what did the Alex say to his friends? He said, "Yeah, guys, let's buy this beautiful computer game." No. He said, "I'm sorry, guys," right? He said this very calmly, and he said it very strategically. He said, "I really want to play this computer game, but I have a plan. This money is for my bike, my shiny, beautiful blue bike." It was a difficult choice, but Alex, he made a right one, right? It felt like the right one to save, to play long term. That's the second paragraph, guys. So for a moment, Alex hesitated, as you remember. So he was thinking about something very deeply, contemplating, right? It means to think very deeply about something. He was contemplating about a new computer game, but then he decided to play long term, right? He decided, let's buy this beautiful bicycle. It's much more effective. It's much more better for me. So he practiced discipline, right? And as you remember, discipline was our next focus word. And he said, "Sorry, guys." He was very calm that moment. "This money is for my bike, not for this computer game." It was a difficult choice for him, but he felt like it is what it is. It is what he need. Let's jump to the next paragraph, guys. I hope you're intrigued how the story is ending, right? So Alex went to the bank and proudly made his deposit. A few weeks later, he bought the blue bicycle. Riding it felt better than any video game because he had earned it. He understood that the best reward often comes after patience and hard work. That's the end of the paragraph. As you see, we faced another final focus word here, the reward. So what was the reward for Alex? Do you remember? Yeah, there was a reward. The reward was his bicycle. He purchased his bicycle, finally. So he made a deposit on the bank account and he made a transaction. He bought his beautiful, shiny blue bike. That was his reward. Reward of what? From what? Right? Why he called it a reward? Because he was using discipline. He was waiting. He was playing long term. He was saving money. That was a reward for his good actions. Right? That's the final paragraph. We made it. Right? So that's the whole story, guys. But I will read the whole story again, and we will discuss what is the moral of the story. I think it's pretty interesting. Okay? So let's start. I will read in a fast pace now without long pauses and conclude the story very fast. Let's begin. The bicycle and the bank. The moral story. Alex held the money tightly in his hand. It was a birthday gift, and it was just enough to finally reach his goal. For months, he had been saving for a new shiny blue bicycle, and his plan for the day was pretty simple. Go to the bank and make a deposit into his savings account. He could almost feel the wind in his hair as he imagined riding his new bike. Just as he was about to leave, his friends Leo and Mia ran up to his door. "Alex, you have to see this," Leo said, showing a new video game on his phone. "It's out today. We can all buy it and play it together." And Mia added, "It will be so much fun. Forget the bank. Let's go to this game store." Alex felt a strong pull of temptation. The game looked incredible, and he wanted to join his friends. For a moment, Alex hesitated. Playing a new game right now sounded amazing. But then he remembered his long-term goal and the picture of his bicycle on the wall. He knew that reaching his goal required discipline. "I'm sorry, guys," he said calmly. "I really want to, but I have a plan. This money is for my bike. It was a difficult choice, but it felt like the right one." So Alex went to the bank and proudly made his deposit. A few weeks later, he bought the blue bicycle. Riding it felt better than any video game because he had earned it. He understood that the best reward often comes after patience and hard work. So that's the end of the mini story. I hope it was pretty fun for you guys. It was interesting. But let's discuss the moral of this story. You know, this story is pretty good example of what we should do when we have temptations. So the moral of the story is the true reward often comes not from immediate pleasure, but from the discipline to work toward a long-term goal. Very beautiful moral, right? So the true reward, the true gift is always comes to us, not from immediate pleasure, not from the temptation, the pull of temptation, right? Strong pull of temptation. It comes from something bigger, from the discipline to work toward a long-term goal. When you work toward a long-term goal, you work on something big connected with your goal, right? So, for example, this podcast, this is my big long-term goal. I want to make a very global podcast for English learning. I want to become one of the best at this area, and hope you guys will help me with that. Don't forget to subscribe on our podcast and follow our Telegram community. So, hope you guys had fun today, and I hope it was pretty usable and it was interesting. So, keep up with your English learning process. Don't forget to practice every day. It's very important. And let's stay in touch. I hope to see you very soon. Lately this week, I will upload a new podcast episode. Let's stay in touch and have a beautiful, amazing day. Take care.